So the last thing to show here is just some styling around this form. Now there's many ways to do this. Perhaps the best way is to actually go in and style each of the individual form elements. So inside our index, all we've done here is use the most generic function to render out our entire form. Ideally, you would want to style inside your Twig templates because that's where the markup, the HTML lives. But there's many ways to do this, and I'll link to more of the different ways inside the show notes. What I'm about to show you is one way, and there's no real correct way, honestly. I would say perhaps the most sensible way is to do it inside your templates. But again, the thing with Symfony, and perhaps one of the most confusing things about any of the modern frameworks, is there's never really one set way to do things. And because one way may be the right way in a situation, it's hard to give you a definite guideline on what you should be doing. But as I say, I'm going to show you one way. So we've got this from field, and if we look on our form, that's what it's called, that's the label. But we can pass in some options into here, and we could say, for example, our label is going to be your email address. So let's give that a refresh, and now everything's the same, but it's changed the label. Maybe we want a bigger message box. So again, this time we can use the attributes. That's the attributes of the HTML element that it's going to create for us, and we can say we're going to have, in this case, 10 rows. So this is just passing through information to the rendered HTML. It's not doing anything specific to Symfony at this point. You can see text area rows, that's a standard HTML element attribute. It's nothing to do with Symfony. It's just Symfony's form components way of telling the HTML how it should be rendered. And again, maybe we want to set some styling on that send button, which we could also do using attributes. This time passing through a class, maybe button, button large, button success, and button block. Again, these are nothing to do with Symfony. It's just because we're using Bootstrap, we can pass through those attributes, no problem. So in this short series, you've learned how to create a contact form with Symfony 3. We've touched on forms, controllers, Twig, Flash messages, configuration, the web debug toolbar, and SwiftMailer. This is really a taste of one way of working with Symfony. If you've enjoyed this so far, please see the show notes for the next follow-on series. And somewhat controversially at this point, I would also advise that you try other frameworks and maybe even other languages. Not every language gels with everyone, and of course not every framework is for everyone. Try as many as possible, and if you do like Symfony, which I hope you do, then hopefully I can help you learn it faster and easier than if you had to just do this by yourself. Thank you very much for watching.